excited to be here, and I hope y'all are ready for some real keeping today. My name is Christina Matteucci, and I am known as the executive director of David Beahm Destinations, but I've earned many monikers in my time in this industry. I'm known as the Ladybug, the Bulldog, Mommy Dearest, the Tooch, and Toochie Lady. But you see, my most favorite nickname of them all is Toochie Mama, because I am also known as being the mother hen of the number twos, and that's exactly what I'm here to talk to you all about today, about how over the 17 years I've spent with David Beahm, yes, I said 17 years, we've managed to maintain our infamous work marriage. So I'm going to start off today with a little story about rock and roll. Who knows what this song is? Somebody shout it out for me. Who sings it? That's right, it is the Rolling Stones, but let's listen for a minute. See, now that's interesting because I don't remember there being a woman in the Stones. Do any of you know her name? No? Interesting. Her name is Mary Clayton. And you see, Mary, work, little man. Not working. There she is. Oh. Brian, you got me, boo? There we go. All right. So Mary Clayton was the biggest and the brightest backup singer in the 1960s. And ultimately, she achieved her critical success singing backup on songs just like Gimme Shelter. So the story goes, it's 1968. Mary is 6, maybe 7 months pregnant. She's woken up in the middle of the night by her manager calling her on the phone. He says, Mary, you need to get up, get out of bed, you need to get dressed, and you need to go to the sound studio because you have to record backup vocals for some group that, quite frankly, Mary didn't know and she really didn't care about. Some boys from London called the Rolly Somebodies or something. So she gets up, she gets dressed, she puts a full-length fur coat over her silk pajamas, ties a Chanel scarf over her rollers, and gets in the car and goes to the sound studio, where she is handed sheet music by Mick Jagger. And she reads what's written on the page. Rape, murder, it's just a shot away. And she thinks to herself, man, this little British boy, he's been smoking some real good stuff because he has done lost his whole mind. She didn't see the big picture. She couldn't see the forest for the trees. But she was there to do a job. So she got into the sound booth and she laid down the first track as it was written, as Mick wrote it. And it was mediocre. And she knew it, and Mick knew it. But Mick knew Mary, and Mick knew what Mary could do with a vocal. So he pushed her. He challenged her. He came on over the loudspeaker and he said, right, Mary, I don't love it. Can you do another? And Mary takes a breath. And she says, all right, I am pregnant, and it is 4 a.m. I'm going to do another. And I'm going to blow this little skinny white boy right up out this studio. And this is what they got. Y'all heard that whoop in the middle? That was Mick. You see, that is what being a great number one is about. It's about an artist bringing another artist who's waiting in the wings and giving them the chance, the challenge, and the faith to do what they do well and celebrating it with them when they are victorious. But you see, that track also exemplifies what being a great number two is about. It's about selling it, fighting for it, swinging for the fences, even when it's not your song, even when you are not in the spotlight. And so you see, I love it when I am producing an event for David Beahm and somebody walks into the ballroom and looks at me and says, "Who is that chick?" I want people to want to know who I am because of the work I do for David Beahm, because I am fiercely proud of that work, and because I know that it's going to blow my skinny white boy right up out the room. So, you all know him, or if you have not met him, please allow me to introduce you to the ever formidable, yet completely down-to-earth country boy, my skinny boy, Mr. David Beahm. And I want to tell you a little bit about how David and I found each other in the hopes that you can find the same magic and maintain it as long as we have. So, I loved weddings from the very beginning. Why won't you work, Mr. Remote? Yep. There we go. I loved weddings from the very beginning. At 13 years old, I subscribed to every major bridal publication there was. But as you can see from here, I had a flair for the dramatic at the age of 7. So it's not too hard to figure out how I ended up at Tisch School of the Arts, New York University in 1997 on my path to become the next big triple threat, the next big Broadway star. And by the time I had graduated 4 years later, I had performed on the stages of Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and I was up for my first big Broadway role. And then everything went to shit.